Good morning, children. Every sunset is an opportunity to reset. Here I am Lakshmi to reset your mind with the concepts of science. As we have completed 4 lessons in science, in today's class we are going to see the recap of lesson 4 and going to start a new interesting topic for you. Before I start the session, let me discuss the answers for last week's Google form. And the answers are translucent, transparency, solvent, stone, conductor, opaque, lemon juice, plastics, iron and density. Moreover, you gave correct answer but little confused with question number 5, and the question was copper is a dash. Copper is a good conductor of electricity and it is even used for making electric wires. Now let me recall the topics in lesson number 4 so that you write your Saturday's test well. There are various objects around us and each object is made of material. Sometimes same material is used to make different objects. In order to make an object, we should select the material based on the property. And the properties are appearance, hardness, solubility, flotation, transparency. Under appearance, we have lustrous, shiny substances, example gold, non-lustrous, non-shining substances like wood. Under hardness, we have soft, which can be compressed easily, example chalk, hard, which cannot be compressed easily, example wood. Under solubility, we have soluble substances that mix completely in water, example salt. Insoluble substances that do not mix with water, example sawdust or sand. Under flotation, we have seen based on density, certain objects may float and others sink in the water. It is float due to the less density than water and it sink due to more density than water. Example for floating object, dry leaves, and for sinking, it is key. On the basis of transparency, objects are classified into 3. Transparent, that allows entire light, example glass. Translucent, that allows partial light, example butter paper. And opaque, that do not allow any light to pass through it, example wood. I hope all are going to get good mark in the test. Now it's time for me to introduce the new topic of the day, and it is lesson number 5, separation of substances, part 1. Let us see what we are going to learn today. These are the following topics we are going to see today. First one, substances and mixture. Second one, purpose of separation. Third one, methods of separation. Under this, we are going to see hand picking, threshing, winnowing and sieving. New lesson never starts without a starter activity. Here is a colorful starter activity for you and the name of the starter activity is sort out. So now we are going to sort out these colorful bricks according to its color, especially red, green and blue bricks. Since these bricks contain letters, when you sort it out according to the color, you will get a set of letters for each color and you unscramble it, get a term related to the lesson. It's time, children. Come on, take your notebook and start to find the terms. See, red bricks contain letters E, T, M, L, E, E, N. Blue bricks contain M, O, P, O, U, N, D, C. Green bricks contain X, T, S, U, E, I, M, R. I believe by now you have sorted all the red, blue and green bricks and unscrambled the letters. Let's see the answer. In green bricks, you get mixture. In red, element. In blue, compound. Now so many questions going on in your mind. Are you aware of all these terms, children? You may wonder what is the connection between these words and the lesson? What does it mean? Let us find answers for all these questions. And this is the first part of your lesson. Since the name of the lesson is separation of substances, we are going to separate substances from a mixture, from different mixture. So you want to know all these terms. Okay, children? We know our universe is made up of matter that occupies space. That matter exists in two forms: pure substance, mixture. Pure substance is made up of only identical atoms. Like see here, only blue color atoms, and here we have only gray with red color atoms, particles. Whereas mixture contains one or more elements not in a definite ratio. See here you have seen two green balls, four orange balls. Likewise, the proportion is not equal. So such components we call it as mixture. This pure substance is again divided into element and compound. Mixture is divided into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Let us see the meaning for all these terms with suitable example. First one is element. Element is made up of only one type of particles. For example, take this iron. Iron is an element since it is made up of only iron particles. See here, all these particles are similar in shape and size. Hence, it is said to be an element. The next, compound. Compound is made up of one or more components in definite proportion. This is very important. This makes the difference. See, mixture is also made up of one or more components, but they don't have definite proportion. But here in compounds, they have definite proportion. Okay, for example, take water. Its chemical formula is H2O. It contains two parts of hydrogen and one part of oxygen. Okay, children. So this is also like a structure that shows water. Okay, here also you can see two part of oxygen and one part of two part of hydrogen, sorry, and one part of oxygen. Okay. So likewise, another example, common salt. It is made up of sodium and chloride ion. It is otherwise called as sodium chloride. This proportion is common. It is same for water. Okay, and this common salt structure also same for every common salt. Hence, it is said to be compound. The next one is homogeneous mixture. See, in homogeneous mixture, as they contain so many components, but those components dissolved completely and cannot be seen visually. Such mixtures we call it as homogeneous mixture. Example, take this lemonade. See, this lemonade is prepared by adding lime juice, sugar and water. But we cannot find any lime juice, sugar or water in this lemonade. We are able to see only the juice, isn't it, children? So this mixture is called as homogeneous mixture. And next one is heterogeneous mixture. In this type of mixture, you can see the components visually because they do not mix with each other. Example, your snacks mixture. You can see so many components like save, peanuts, curry leaves. And the proportion of all these items varies according to the shop or depending upon the chef who is going to prepare it, isn't it, children? So such type we call it as heterogeneous mixture. Another example, water, sand in water. Sand cannot be completely dissolved in water, isn't it? We can see particles of sand in the water. So this mixture is called as heterogeneous type. Is it clear, children? See, the reason behind learning all these terms, element, compound, mixture, all these things are related to the lesson. Since most of the items available to us are in mixture form, but sometimes we require the entire mixture. At times we want only a particular component present in the mixture. In such instances, how to obtain those components? And the answer is by means of separation methods. Those separation methods only we are going to see now. So before we see what are the different methods, you must know what is meant by separation. Separation is the process of removing substances from a mixture of two or more components or substances. Okay, and why do we need these separation methods? For these three reasons: to obtain two different components. For example, mistakenly you have mixed peanuts with corn. So, but you want to eat it separately. So, in such instances, we use separation techniques to obtain the useful components from unwanted substances. Take tea as an example. See, after preparing tea, we won't want that tea leaves, isn't it? So, there also we use separation method. And last one, to remove impurities or harmful substances. Take RO as an example. Okay, in RO system, water purifying system, it is purifying both impurities and harmful components present in water and makes us safe to drink. So for all these reasons, we require separation techniques. Now we see the different types of separation method. So there are various separation method available based on the different types of mixture. Let us see what is it. You know, there are soluble substances, insoluble substances available based on the solubility. In order to separate insoluble components from a mixture, we have different separation techniques. In order to separate soluble components from the mixture, we have a separate method. Okay, let us see one after the other. And that insoluble components also, based on these aspects, it varies. So if the component of a mixture mainly stresses on quantity, for example, if the quantity of the mixture as well as the impurities present in it is very less, then we go for a technique called hand picking. And when the useful component or required component is in very large amount, we go for threshing. Okay, this we call it as threshing. And when there is difference in the weight of the components, we go for winnowing. And if there is difference in size, sieving and filtration techniques are used. If there is difference in density of the components, sedimentation and decantation are used. In order to separate soluble components from the mixture, we carry out evaporation. It is the widely use method. Okay, let us see one after the other with examples. First one is hand picking method. So the process by which undesirable or unwanted particles are just picked up by our hand, that technique we'll call it as hand picking method. See, this method is convenient or applicable only when the quantity of mixture is small and the unwanted substances is present in very less amount. The size, shape or color of the unwanted substance is different from that of useful one. In all these instances only this method is applicable. For example, stone from rice. You can see in this picture. This lady is separating some impurities present in pulses. Separate impurities. You might have even seen in your home, your mom is picking stones or small sticks present in rice or pulses packet. Even you use hand picking method while eating food, don't you children? So you pick up curry leaves, onion, tomatoes and all carefully and keep it aside in your plate, isn't it? That is also a hand picking technique or method. So next method, threshing. It is a traditional method used in the villages after harvesting the crops. Okay, you know, each stalk contains about 100 grains. Okay, it is very difficult to separate all these grains with our hands. So there is a method called threshing. It is used to separate grains from the stalk. It can be done either manually or with the help of machines like combine harvester. Manual threshing involves beating the stalk of grain. They will take a stalk of grains in their hand and beat those grains with the stalk against the hard surface like rock. Sometimes it is also done by crushing the stalks using bullets. Okay, see here, this is manual threshing. Here he is trying to separate grains from the stalk. And here threshing is happening with the help of machines like this. And the next method, winnowing. The method used to separate lighter particles from heavier particles. This method is applicable only when there is difference in the weight of the components. Okay children, and it is used to separate lighter and heavier components of a mixture by wind or by blowing air. Direction of wind is very important for this process. So it can be done with the help of winnowing basket. This is the winnowing basket. Even you can see in your home. And you know how this method has to be carried out. In order to do this separation method, you have to take the mixture in the winnowing basket and have to stand on the elevated position or any raised platform, and you have to show it against the direction of wind so that lighter particles fly away. See here in this picture, lighter particles fly away, leaving the heavier components on the ground like this. Okay, see the chaff or husk, outer covering of crops, husk or chaff. Okay, those particles are light in weight and fly away, and the heavy grains fall on the ground. So this technique we'll call it as winnowing. Examples, as I told you already, chaff from wheat or husk from rice. The next method is sieving. See, for winnowing I said it is applicable when there is difference in weight. But when there is difference in size, we go for sieving method. If the components of a mixture are of different sizes, they can be separated by this process. Okay, it can be done with the help of sieve plate. It is even used in your home. You might have seen your mummy using sieve plates to separate wheat bran or any type of impurities from flour items like wheat, maida and all. It is also used in construction sites to separate stones and pebbles from the sand. Clear, children? See here, like this, they will take components of the mixture in the sieve. This is a sieve. Uh, take it in a sieve, and these sieve, it allows only particles that are small in size through this, and just hold the larger particles as such. Okay, so this method we'll call it as sieving. You might have seen your mummy using this method before preparing chapati, isn't it, children? And even you can see this in construction site, or any in your street. You might have seen if they are building houses. Okay, here he is trying to separate stones and pebbles from the sand. So in today's class we have learned 4 separation methods: hand picking, threshing, winnowing and sieving. And the remaining separation methods will be discussed in the next class. So these are the new terms you have learned today: elements, compounds, homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture, hand picking, threshing, sieving, winnowing, combined harvester. Now we have reached the last part of the session, discussing the homework for last week. Okay, I gave 2 questions, answers for the first question: X translucent, Y transparent, Z opaque. See, many got confused with X and Y. Okay, and some gave examples like glass, wood and all, but these are the exact answers for that question. Okay, and the second question answers are carbon dioxide, P carbon dioxide, Q oxygen. Many gave correct answers for these 2 things, but confused with R and S. See, R is nitrogen, not hydrogen. Okay, it is nitrogen. And S is plants. Okay, some gave generally organisms and animals. Both are wrong. Correct answer is plants. Since plants only utilize carbon dioxide for photosynthesis process. And last part, this week homework task. First question. X is a, take a screenshot, children. X is a separation technique based on the difference in weights of the solid in a mixture. Identify the process X. Second question. Vinegar is a solution of acetic acid in water. What kind of mixture is vinegar? Third question. Give some examples of sieving used in everyday life. I hope you can do it. So here in the second question, you have to write what type of mixture it is, homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, children, please think and write. I hope all are clear about the separation methods, what I have taught today. If you have any doubts regarding the topic, you can clarify with me during the chat time. Thank you, children. See you all next week. Have a safe day.